Let's be blunt. Most people stay broke not because of bad luck, but because of bad thinking. They avoid spending on things that look wasteful on the surface. But what if I told you that some of the very things poor people scoff at are the exact things that make rich people richer? This video isn't about flexing or luxury. It's about understanding value, how the wealthy think differently, spend differently, and use money as a tool to buy results, not just stuff. Because when you're stuck in survival mode, everything feels like a waste. But when you start seeing money as a multiplier, not just a paycheck, everything changes. We're going to break down 7 specific things that poor people often criticize as unnecessary or overpriced. But if used correctly, these are the very tools that create time, leverage, and long-term wealth. Some of these might challenge how you were raised, some might trigger you. But that's the point, because growth only happens when you question what you've been taught. If you're ready to level up your mindset and stop thinking like someone who's stuck, this one's for you. Do not forget to like, subscribe, and share. Let's get into it. Here's a truth that separates rich thinking from poor thinking. Poor people focus on price. Rich people focus on value. Ask someone struggling financially how they decide what to buy, and they'll usually say something like, "What's the cheapest option?" That mindset makes sense when you're just trying to survive. But if you stay there too long, it becomes a trap that keeps you broke. The wealthy ask different questions. What return will this give me? How much time will this save me? Will this move me closer to my goals? It's a completely different lens. For example, buying a $10 book might seem expensive if you're used to avoiding extras. But if that book teaches you something that earns you an extra $1,000, was it expensive or was it a bargain? Same goes for hiring help, buying premium tools, or paying to learn from someone who's already where you want to be. Poor mindsets see those as wasteful. Rich mindsets see them as leverage. Now, here's the key. Not all spending is smart spending. Buying expensive things just to impress people, chase dopamine, or avoid problems. That's not wealth building. That's emotional spending. But investing in things that save time, expand your knowledge, build your network, or sharpen your skills. That's the kind of spending that actually pays you back. Sometimes 10x. Wealthy people know that money is a tool, not just a reward. Every dollar is either a seed or a weed. It either grows or it takes. Shift your question from, how much does it cost, to, what will this do for my future? And your financial life will never be the same. Poor people often brag about doing everything themselves, fixing their own car, spending hours comparing prices, learning complicated software from scratch, doing DIY just to save money. But here's the catch. What you save in money, you lose in time. And time is the one resource you can't get back. Wealthy people don't just spend money, they buy time. They're not lazy. They understand leverage. They pay for express delivery because waiting 5 days delays their momentum. Online tools that automate work so they can focus on high-value tasks. House cleaning so their mind is clear for important decisions. Online courses instead of Googling for hours. Here's the math. If your time is worth $50 an hour and you spend 6 hours on something you could pay someone $100 to do, you didn't save $100, you lost $200 in opportunity cost. The poor mindset sees this as wasteful. The rich mindset sees it as an investment in productivity. This doesn't mean outsourcing everything blindly. It means being ruthlessly intentional about where your time goes and refusing to waste it on things that don't move your life forward. Ask yourself, what am I doing that someone else could do better or faster? What would I spend money on if it gave me 10x more time or focus? The richest people aren't the ones who hustle 24/7. They're the ones who protect their time like gold. Because in the end, money can be replaced, time can't. Time. One of the biggest differences between rich and poor mindsets? How they treat learning. Poor people often say things like, why pay for a course when YouTube is free? I'll figure it out on my own. Or worse, books are a waste of money. But wealthy people? They're addicted to knowledge. and they're willing to pay for speed, clarity, and access. They buy books because one sentence can shift their entire business model. They join paid communities because the people inside have what they want. They hire mentors or coaches because they want real feedback now, not vague advice 5 years too late. Free content is amazing, but it's scattered. It lacks structure, accountability, and depth. Paid education filters out noise and delivers a clear path. When I started investing in myself, my income followed. A $200 course helped me avoid a $10,000 mistake. A $20 book showed me how to double my productivity. That ROI is insane. And don't forget access. Paying for a mastermind or event often gives you direct relationships with people who can change your life. Clients, partners, or investors. The poor mindset sees education as an expense. The rich mindset sees it as an income multiplier. And they keep learning long after school ends. You don't have to start with a $2,000 mastermind. Start with a $15 book, a $99 course, or a $10 coaching call. What matters is how seriously you treat it. The best investment you can ever make is in your skills, your mindset, and your growth. The wealthy know this, and that's why they never stop learning. One thing poor people often pride themselves on is doing everything alone. Cooking, cleaning, editing, designing, fixing, planning, organizing. But rich people, they delegate. Not because they're lazy, but because they understand leverage. They ask, what's the highest use of my time? What can someone else do faster, better, or cheaper than me? You only have 24 hours in a day. When you try to do everything, your income stays limited to your own time, energy, and skill set. That's a ceiling. Delegation smashes that ceiling. You'll never catch a millionaire spending 3 hours formatting a PowerPoint or cleaning their garage on a weekday. They protect their time so they can focus on decision-making, leadership, vision, and strategy. Start small. Hire a virtual assistant to manage your inbox. Use Fiverr or Upwork to handle designs, edits, or research. Pay for grocery delivery. Outsource house cleaning or basic tasks that drain you. If you earn $30 an hour and spend 4 hours doing a 10-hour task, that's $80 of lost opportunity. Delegation isn't just about saving time, it's about protecting your mental energy. That brain power should be used to move the needle, not micromanage every little thing. The poor mindset says, I can't afford to hire help. The wealthy mindset says, I can't afford to do this myself. This is how you scale in life and in business. The most successful people didn't build empires by grinding every task. They built systems and let other people run them. Buy back your time. Invest that time in growth. That's how the wealthy win. This one might sting, but it's real. Your appearance matters more than you think. Poor people often view spending money on clothes, grooming, skincare, or even posture training as vain or unnecessary. But wealthy people understand that appearance is part of your performance and your brand. Here's the reality. In the first 5 seconds, people form impressions about your competence, confidence, and credibility, all before you say a word. It's not about designer labels or fake flexing. It's about showing up as someone who takes themselves seriously, someone worth listening to, someone who looks like they're going somewhere. Wealthy people know this is leverage. They invest in tailored clothes that fit and feel good. Professional grooming, haircuts, nails, skin, clear posture, eye contact and clean shoes, health routines that give energy and presence, photo shoots, headshots, even style coaching. Not to impress strangers, but to unlock respect, influence, and confidence. I've seen entrepreneurs double their income just by upgrading their wardrobe and posture. Why? Because people take them more seriously, and they take themselves more seriously. Your appearance is your packaging, and your packaging influences your perceived value. The poor mindset says, I don't care what people think. The rich mindset says, I control how people see me. You don't have to be flashy, but you do have to be intentional, because how you show up in the world affects what the world gives back. Show up looking like someone who wins, and watch how people start treating you like one. You ever hear someone say, I'm not paying to talk to people? That's exactly how poor people miss out on life-changing opportunities. Networking events, conferences, masterminds, and meetups might seem like a waste, especially when tickets cost hundreds or even thousands of dollars. But to wealthy people, these are investments in access, not expenses. Let me be clear, your net worth is directly tied to your network. The people you know, the conversations you have, the rooms you enter, these are shortcuts money can buy. I've met business partners, mentors, clients, and lifelong friends at events I nearly skipped because of the price tag. And every single time, the return was exponential. Not just financially, but emotionally, socially, and intellectually. Here's what rich people understand. One conversation can 10x your business. One connection can open locked doors. One room full of ambition can shift your entire identity. Poor mindsets say, I don't need to be there. Rich mindsets say, I can't afford not to be there. They'll spend $1,000 on a flight, hotel, and event. Not to flex, but to elevate their circle. Because the right conversation at the right time can change everything. Yes, YouTube is free, but you can't build real relationships through screen time. You can't shake hands, trade stories, or get introduced to the person who could change your life. If you want to grow, get in the room, even if it scares you, especially if it scares you. The poor mindset sees the price tag. The rich mindset sees the potential return. And in this game, access is everything. Poor people often brag about using free tools. I don't pay for apps, I use the free version. But wealthy people? They invest in the best tools, not to show off, but because they understand a powerful principle. Free is expensive when it costs you time. Using clunky, outdated, or limited tools to save a few bucks ends up wasting hours. And hours are money. Rich people don't hesitate to pay for editing software that saves 5 hours a week, project management platforms that keep teams aligned, AI tools that generate content, copy, or insights instantly, scheduling apps that eliminate back and forth email threads, financial software that flags issues before they become disasters. Every second counts. Every bottleneck costs. And the wealthy don't like bleeding opportunity. When I finally paid for tools I'd been avoiding, my business leveled up. Fast. What used to take me 4 hours now takes 20 minutes. That's not convenience, that's freedom. Premium tools are leverage machines. They don't just save time, they multiply results. The poor mindset says, why would I pay for something I can do manually? The rich mindset says, why do manually what a $30 tool can do perfectly while I sleep? Think bigger. Every dollar you spend on the right tool buys you back focus, energy, and clarity. It makes your systems sharper, your team more productive, your life less chaotic. This isn't luxury, it's infrastructure. You don't build a skyscraper with toy tools. Want to operate like the wealthy? Use what the wealthy use to move faster, work smarter, and win bigger. Poor people often say, I'll give when I have more. But wealthy people, they give because they understand something deeper. Generosity is a wealth principle, not a reward, not a flex, and definitely not a luxury. Giving isn't just about money, it's a declaration of abundance. It says, there's more where that came from. And that mindset alone separates the financially free from the financially stuck. Here's what most people never learn. Generosity is magnetic. It builds trust, opens doors, and brings people closer. Hustle can make you money, but giving builds a reputation. When you give, your time, your insight, your money, your support, people remember. And when the moment comes, they'll return the favor in ways you never expected. I've received referrals, partnerships, and massive deals from people I helped for free years ago. No pitch, no angle, just genuine service. That's the long-term ROI of giving. Wealthy people give early and often. They tip with joy, not guilt. Fund causes without posting about it. Mentor rising talent. Support competitors, donate anonymously. They don't wait to be rich to give. They became rich because they gave first. The poor mindset says, I can't afford to give. The rich mindset says, I can't afford not to. And here's the wild part. The more you give, the more you feel wealthy, even before your bank balance shows it. Because the goal isn't to die with the most money, it's to live a life that impacts others. Want to shift your entire financial energy? Start giving, intentionally, consistently, and with heart. That's what real wealth looks like. Let's be real. Wealth isn't just numbers in a bank account, it's how you think. Poor mindsets see spending as wasteful. Rich mindsets see it as strategic. Here's a recap of the 7 things that seem wasteful, but actually build wealth. Paying for speed. Because time, money. Investing in education. Because knowledge compounds delegating tasks. Because focus creates freedom. Upgrading your appearance. Because perception shapes opportunity. Attending networking events. Because rooms build revenue. Using premium tools. Because systems scale success. Giving generously. Because abundance attracts more abundance. These aren't random habits. They're intentional choices, made by people who understand that money is a tool, not a trophy. If you want to shift from survival to success, start seeing every dollar as a decision. Not, can I afford this? But, will this grow me? Now it's your move. Which of these 7 mindset flips are you ready to embrace? Drop a comment, share your biggest shift, and if this hit home, like the video and subscribe for more mindset strategies that help you build the life you want. Because wealth starts with how you think, and your next level is just one mindset shift away. Let's be blunt. Most people stay broke not because of bad luck, but because of bad thinking. They avoid spending on things that look wasteful on the surface. Do not forget to like, share, subscribe, and comment below for more great content.